Hello journey friends, welcome back to this week's Along the Journey, where we are along the mountain bike trails at Tanglewood Park. Wonderful park here in Forsyth County. Many of you know well, hundreds of acres, horseback, running, walking, all sorts of activity, swimming, golfing, picnics, church picnics. And today I am attempting to navigate this course, which is really awesome and does require a bit of a steady hand and some good balance, or at least above average balance, both of which I pretty much lack. But it's pretty awesome. These turns, twists, ups and downs, obstacles, logs, kind of all kinds of stuff here. You can kind of go up and over. And occasionally you get to these bridges. Now the bridges are definitely wide enough to pass safely, but if you take your eye off it, if you're not focused, any sort of miscalculation, doesn't matter if you go left or right, you're going to be in for trouble. Best case, a nasty fall. Worst case, and this old man is going to be taking a trip to the nearest clinic. And whoa! So balance. Balance, keep it between the lines with great intentionality, effort, and focus. And it's really that idea of balance, intentionality, focus, and effort that is at the heart of these next 4 units. The final section of the Journey Green Year, Section 6, this week, Unit 1, the pursuit of God-honoring parenting. And this idea of a biblically balanced parenting style and philosophy is going to be at the heart of training up our children, instructing them, correcting them, encouraging them, disciplining them. And I'll go ahead and qualify this section up front. Much like we did with the marriage material, this is for all of us, regardless of our age or stage, whether we're parents, future parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, neighbors, teachers, volunteers. We have the great privilege of speaking life into our children and those within our circles of influence, but especially those in our home, under our care. And as we do, these 4 weeks are going to be really grounded in 2 key principles that we want to flavor all of our conversations. The first is found in what we refer to often as the Shema, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 9. The Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and your soul and your strength. But then it tells us to impress upon our children these commandments, God's word, to speak of them, instruct them day and night, morning, when you eat, when you get up, when you walk, at all times, creating a God-centered culture in our homes. So that's the one sort of flavor that we'll have across all of these units. The second is really the matter of the extremes, as I like to call them. See, it's some of us, or a prevailing parental style and philosophy is the extreme of pursuing the child's happiness at all cost. And this is often associated with an overly permissive or an overly carefree type of parenting style. The second is the other extreme, an overly harsh or legalistic style that is grounded in the pursuit of strict obedience for our children. It really, much like this bridge, if you veer and skew to one side or the other, it really doesn't matter. There's the likelihood that there will be trouble ahead. And really the aim of these 4 weeks is to ensure that we are focused on our child's maturity, spiritual maturity, responsibility, Christ-likeness, which often encompasses happiness and obedience when we get it right, when we follow a biblical model for raising and training up our children. And that really is the responsibility as parents. It is to set free responsible disciple makers who are grounded in God's Word sooner rather than later. And we do that when the aim of our parenting every day, night and day, consistently, is that of Christ-like maturity. And so 3 key points this week for your group to consider. The first point of emphasis this week is in your truth section. It's a great chart. It outlines the varying parenting styles and philosophies. Remember, it's setting the groundwork for our conversations throughout these 4 weeks. So take a look at that chart. Secondly, in equipping, it's really the reflection on your own childhood, the parenting styles for which you were trained up and raised. Talk about that, share that, and then look at the case studies that are provided and share your responses to those. And then finally, number 3, prayer this week. As so critical all of these weeks, but praying for our children, for the children of members in our group, our grandchildren, our nephews and nieces, really praying for grace, for perhaps your own parenting past and history, forgiveness, grace for other parenting styles that are still biblically balanced, yet vary from your own style. Throughout our conversations on correction and disciplining, we have to realize that there are variations to a biblically balanced philosophy. The bridge is wide enough to encompass those varying styles without actually falling into the extremes. So we want to be very gracious and loving in our conversations about our preferences and choices. And so until we meet again, may we all just get out and enjoy God's great outdoors. And maybe I'll see you out here at Tanglewood along the journey. Blessings, friends.